Minecraft players try to fake their speedruns, but do it terribly. So here are the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns. Our first speedrun of the day starts off with our speedrunner literally spawning on a diamond block. And when he turns around, he is looking directly at a village. This is getting weird. Our speedrunner then decides to loot the village by collecting some beds and opening some chests, and then decides to search for a ruined portal. But on the way, our speedrunner falls into a random hole that just so happens to contain a nether portal. I can't make this up. Once in the nether, our speedrunner travels and finds a stronghold. But wait, why is he in creative mode? And why is there a chest with a perfect amount of blaze rods waiting for him? This has to be fake. He then makes his way over to a bastion to try to find some ender pearls, but he decides to fake this as well. Our speedrunner stops and faces a random block. He then cuts the video, and when he returns, there's a stack of ender pearls waiting for him. And he also spots a random nether portal floating in midair. He makes his way into the nether portal and is finally back in the overworld. But our speedrunner gets so bored that he simply teleports straight to the stronghold using a simple command. He fills the ender portal with eyes of ender, and he is now in the end. And he decides to change his game mode to creative and build one of the most overpowered swords using anvil and a sharpness 5 book. And after flying around to break all the end crystals with creative mode, he can easily kill the dragon with this OP sword. This speedrun was hilarious. Our next speedrunner begins with his run in a super flat world, and just look at the chat. I can't make this up. Anyway, he conveniently spawns directly next to a village, so he begins to gather some resources. Wait, why is there a chest here? And why does it literally have the most OP loot in the game? I can't take this anymore. After this, the speedrunner decides to build an end portal in the middle of a super flat world and actually almost dies while doing this. Imagine cheating and still being this bad. Once our speedrunner finally manages to reach the end, it takes him forever to break out and try to find the dragon. And just when he's about to kill the ender dragon, our speedrunner literally dies. This speedrun was so funny. We finally get a normal speedrun as this next guy spawns in a seemingly normal world. And this speedrunner even has a timer so we can make sure that the speedrun is real. He travels a bit off spawn and ends up finding a village. So he decides to loot the very first chest that he sees. And are you kidding me? Not this again. And after this, our speedrunner is on his way to find and locate the end portal. But what do you know? He instead decides to dig down at a random spot in the village, which actually drops him directly next to the end portal. Our speedrunner finally makes it to the end and uses the fireworks he got from the chest to easily move around. But the problem is that he still needs to kill the ender dragon. And let's just say he fails at this miserably. It's so funny that the speedrunner literally died while cheating. Our next speedrunner begins off by spawning directly into a village. And while this is not necessarily fake, it does seem a bit suspicious. Things, however, seem pretty normal as he goes into the houses and you have to be kidding me. Another chest with full netherite? These speedrunners never learn. After this, our speedrunner makes his way around to search for a ruined portal. Wait, this doesn't look like a ruined portal. Why is it already completely filled? This is totally fake. And once our speedrunner spawns into the nether, what do you know? He spawns directly into a fortress, which is a chest waiting for him that claims it's a gift from a blaze. And of course, there's full blaze rods and ender pearls waiting for him. He makes his way back into the portal and he's on his way into the overworld and begins to search for the end portal. After searching around for a while, something odd happens. Speedrunner cuts the video and suddenly he's in the end. This guy didn't even look for the end portal. However, in the end, our speedrunner seems to have a trick up its sleeve. And see if you guys can make a guess. Instead of waiting for the dragon to perch, our speedrunner decides to dig down at a random block and it leads directly to a hole with a button that kills everyone, including the dragon. And then the speedrunner just finishes the speedrun. While fake, this was incredibly hilarious. Our next speedrunner luckily begins in a much more normal world. world. Wait, never mind. This guy literally finds a pyramid and a ruined portal right next to where he spawns. And when he loots the chest in the pyramid, he finds some pretty good loot. The speedrunner decides to leave the temple and take a detour into a nearby cave, and actually manages to find a mineshaft, and there's a really weird pickaxe inside the chest. Moving along in the speedrun, he finally makes his way into the nether. And once he spawns into the nether, he immediately finds a bastion, which seems a bit suspicious. And using the gold, he is able to get some incredibly overpowered piglin trades. He then focuses on collecting blaze rods, so he travels around more and finally finds a fortress. In the fortress, our speedrunner begins to kill blazes and also gets some incredibly lucky drops. This is getting a bit too fake. It's now time for the speedrunner to head back to the overworld, but he has a trick up his sleeve. He specifically selects a spot in the nether to build his portal, because when he spawns back to the overworld, he is directly over the strongholds. No, like seriously, this guy actually spawned right above the stronghold. He fills in the end portal, makes his way to the end with his overpowered loot, and then finally manages to kill the ender dragon. Even though this one was fake, it was extremely hilarious, so I give it a pass. This next speedrun is probably one of the fastest on this list so far. The run starts off and immediately our speedrunner spawns in to collect some wood. And after finding a village just a couple seconds later, he begins to loot the chests that have some pretty suspicious amounts of obsidian. And using this obsidian, he builds a nether portal straight away. Yeah, this is getting a bit sus. Moving along, he enters the nether and conveniently spawns into a fortress right away. And the blazes also happen to drop 64 blaze rods. This is definitely fake. Our speedrunner doesn't even bother to travel to the bastion because somehow he got 16 ender pearls. So I guess he's heading back to the overworld to look for the strongholds. Once in the overworld, our speedrunner spawns in a very weird spot, which is actually above the ocean, and you guessed it, right above the strongholds. Either way, our speedrunner breaks in, travels to the end portal room, and suddenly is making his way into the end only 3 minutes in. But our speedrunner has something different to try when he reaches the end. Instead of trying to fight the dragon normally, he applies a strength effect, which is extremely overpowered. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this speaks for itself. What a hilarious run. Count how many fake things you can spot in this next speedrun. The run begins and immediately our speedrunner spawns into a village and finds 64 god apples and full netherite armor in his very first chest. After that, he goes into another part of the village and this time finds even more overpowered loot, including potions, obsidians, and flint and steel. And he even finds a random diamond tree. Those aren't even real in Minecraft. He now makes his way into the nether by building and lighting a nether portal. But he stumbles upon a random hole known as the Hagen hole, which is apparently a new feature added by Notch. And after opening the chest in this random hole, our speedrunner miraculously has full blaze rods and eyes of ender. And he's now ready to travel to the overworld. There's no way this is real. Once in the overworld, our speedrunner gets so bored that he teleports himself to the strongholds. And once in the stronghold, our speedrunner finds the most cursed end portal I've probably ever seen. Like, bro, what even is this? I guess it kind of worked though, because he finally reaches the nether and kills the ender dragon by flying around and using creative mode. This guy could not stop cheating in the speedrun. If you guys want to see more fake speedruns like this, click on screen right now. Make sure to subscribe. Bye.